Hey guys, I'm Marky and this is Kindred Guidance, and this is today's pick a card reading on what's your direction, what's your next step in life, and where are you headed. So pick whichever pile resonates with you or whichever crystal. We have group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, and group number 4. And there will be timestamps down below. So yeah, take a few minutes if you need to and pick whichever one resonates for you. Alright, so for those who chose group number 1, let's get started. So first we have the chakra color card, Merlot. So it says slow down, savor, share, indulge, and invite. We also have surrender your fear of intimacy. So part of heading to a new direction, it does involve letting old wounds and the past and let all those feelings and letting it go. So I definitely wanted to tap into that energy for this reading. But you guys are definitely showing up as someone who's on survival mode almost. I feel like you've kind of had to fight your way through a bunch of obstacles maybe recently that you've had to face. There's a sense of overcoming and feeling defeated at times. I don't know, but in the end you fought the war and you've come out of it scathed and bruised but still winning. And I think it just comes sometimes we have challenges or things just don't go according to plan. And the other word that comes in here is also false promises. But yeah, you do show up as the Desert Prince. And a lot of earth energy here. We have Mother Earth. You are called upon to help with the environment. And I think it's more just this feeling of being grounded. That might have been something that you've struggled with you're heading towards too. Again, this is kind of the direction that you're headed towards. And also what really comes down to is slow down. I think there's just this element of things need to, in your life, it does feel fast-paced at times, especially because of, the pandemic. Things have been going, pretty quickly, and I think that this is your chance to, slow things down. I feel like you shouldn't jump into love, but you also shouldn't be too scared to, not do anything. And it's not just, romantic relationships, it's just, with that fear of intimacy, it's literally the basis of it is, the lack of connection. Maybe you haven't been feeling 100% yourself, and maybe you need to ground yourself more, do things for yourself, self-care. It comes down to the nitty-gritty details of are you cooking for yourself? Are you working out? Are you taking care of yourself, With the love card, we got soulmate, and I think that you guys are in a space of really connecting with yourself, and the more that you connect with yourself, the more that you're going to be able to connect with others on a deeper level. And we also have pleasurable. So again, this correlates to the word indulge, and I engage in life with sensuality and passion. I think that for some of you it's all about really feeling yourself, feeling one with yourself and at home with yourself, and again, taking care of yourself, and really feeling that passion in life. Not every day is going to be a good day, but I think that it's the little things where you do things for yourself that really help in making you satisfied on the day-to-day, doing things that make you happy. And that you like. So if you're ever feeling like you're not grounded enough, or you just don't know what to do, and in terms of like your direction, I think you just have to find the things that really spark your attention and that feel pleasurable, because things that are more desirable, because I feel like maybe you've been stuck in a routine, maybe you're on autopilot mode, maybe, yeah, again, like things just haven't gone according to plan, and it's like, what do I do next? And it's like the thing that you have to find are the little things that like make you happy and make life enjoyable. Yeah, but definitely take your time, slow down, and let's get some tarot cards. Okay. Yeah, definitely feeling really bogged down by like life events. Like there's just a lot of things that are on your plate, and you might feel like you just don't have enough time and energy for yourself. And I think that that's something to improve on. With the Queen of Cups, it's the Dreamer card. Oof, that one fell. I think for some of you, there might be like this feeling of wanting to be vulnerable and wanting to connect to others on a deeper level, but there's like some blockages. Like I think that you might feel like you can't completely be free and open, but I see you trying. I see you attempting to move forward with the Temperance card to really release any old baggage or anything that scares you. And I think that for this, in the terms of like what direction you're going towards, it's like someone who doesn't like take bullshit. Like if someone's like showing any ounce of like red flags, or if someone just doesn't seem loyal or committed, then you're just like done with that. Like, but I do see you opening up more to giving other people chances, you know, and you know, one chance is enough. I feel like, you know, giving people second chances, sometimes it bites you in the ass. With the King of Pentacles, yeah, it's definitely like this feeling of needing more groundedness. So what's coming up for you guys in terms of direction and like where you're headed, I think that if you do feel a little bit chaotic, that you just need to lean in and towards like the routine, the groundedness, doing things at your own pace and not feeling left behind. Like you have perfect control over everything. Okay, a lot of you guys might have had to break things off in a relationship. It could be any kind of relationship. It could be a friendship, romantic one. Who the hell knows? It's different for everyone. But what I do see is a relationship or a connection kind of dying. Sorry, I'm just trying to make room so all you guys can see this. But yeah, the Death card is right next to the Two of Cups. I think there's just like a lot of changes for group one. Like you might have had changes in career, you might have had changes in your relationships, and it's just like everything's kind of changing for you guys, and you're just trying to find your footing right now. And you also have the Nine of Cups, Seven of Swords. So yeah, change is inevitable for you guys. Like what's coming in terms of like direction. It's like it's a completely brand new cycle for you guys. Like if it's impending, like it's gonna happen sooner or later. All I'm seeing is a lot of change, you know. Oof, I keep dropping cards. But the last card is the Hierophant. Yeah, so the last row, it's all about having that sense of stability. A little bit of like doing things on your own. I feel like a part of you guys need to do things like you need to be independent and not make decisions based on like what other people are telling you to. Okay, so my interpretation for the last row, you know, the Nine of Cups, it shows someone who's, you know, self-content, on their own, cups are full. Seven of Swords shows a little bit of a deceit, a little bit of someone just doing things on their own. And like, to some people, it can feel like betrayal. It can feel like self-sabotage. Like, and lastly, the Hierophant, it's talking about like unification between two people. So the Hierophant is someone who unifies people together. And I think that you're moving into a direction where, to me, the Seven of Swords almost feels like you're leaving a situation. And like, you know when it's time to leave. And it might feel like self-sabotage. It might feel like the wrong thing to do. But I think that in this next stage of where you guys are headed, I think that you should be more trusting of yourself and like when to walk away, but when to stay, you know, when not to give up. It feels like you guys are dealing with, at times you might feel very avoidant towards people, but then at the same time it's like maybe you might be loyal to a fault. And it's, you know, like maybe you cut someone off and you didn't see any red flags, but then you don't cut someone off when you do see a red flag. It's this toss and turn of like too much or too little. And I think that right now in this direction, you're deciphering like that thing, like when it's time to leave a connection, but when it's worth fighting for and when it's worth to stay. And this is for everything, you know, like business, relationships, work, like anything that you do in your life. You know, you have to know like when it's time to leave a situation or when you're just giving up too early and you need to stay and work it out. So yeah, it all comes down to you, like when you're ready for that change, when it comes at you and it's unexpected. Like, this is all about you finding that sense of stability and groundedness regardless of like what happens on the outside. It's like you're having better control in terms of how you react. So hopefully that resonated for you guys, group number 1, and we're moving on to the next group. Hey guys, so for those of you who chose pile number 2, let's get started. Oof. Okay, so your chakra right now is a rainbow, and it represents renewal, transition, transformation, fulfillment of a promise, and welcome to change. So there's a lot going on in terms of your energy. And I feel like in terms of like the direction you're going, it's definitely like a lot of changes. Like you're stepping into you're opening new doors while others are closing. And to me, like the vibe I'm picking up is like it's happening really quickly. Also in terms of what you have to let go, it's habits of people pleasing. I think this is like a time for you to transition in a period where this has to be more of a focus on what you want and your needs, and you can't really put yourself on the back burner for other people. You also show up as the Fire Prince, and it represents optimism and aggression. And I think you have to be putting yourself in this place of one goal at a time. And I think that there's definitely like a focus, Diana, focus, intention. There's like this mindset, this perspective shift that's occurring where you have to hit these like milestones and these goals and these goals that you have for yourself in your life, and you have to meet them. You can't focus on like what other people want out of you, what's expected of you. It really does feel like you're moving towards a direction where there's so much more intention with everything that you do on the day-to-day. You know, we also have past life relationship. You haven't known each other before. To me, this also represents like making amends with the past. Anything that like hurt you in the past, any connection that was subpar, things fizzling out, things that haven't like met your needs, but also bringing in the good things from your past and bringing it into your current present reality, you know, like what made you happy as a kid, like taking all of those lessons and experiences and like reevaluating your life now, like are you happy, like what is it like, did you like stop doing the things that make you happy? Have you been putting less focus on your past, like the friendships that you've been building? It's just like the past life connection. I just don't, me personally, it doesn't always mean like I'm going to meet someone and we have a past life connection. It feels very karmic. This means we're going to stay together forever. You know, it's not necessarily like that. I don't think that's true for everybody. It is true for some people, but it's all about remembering, like, you know, like the basis of it is like remembering what feels good, what makes you feel good, what makes you happy. And we also have in terms of like the dream card and the subconscious, we have confident. And it says, I am totally self-assured and recognize that I have the courage necessary to act. Yeah, so definitely with like all of these cards all together, it feels like you're moving into a direction where it's more action oriented, a lot of more intention, focus, driven, motivated. Like these are things that if you don't feel right now, you're headed towards. And I'm gonna pull some cards. So let's just get this out of the way. But yeah, that's pretty exciting, you know, like it's a lot of solo energy, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're alone. We have the Six of Wands reversed. I think for a lot of you guys, it is essentially working on your confidence and your self-esteem and having self-trust in yourself. Like having more faith in your decisions as opposed to other people making decisions for you. We have the Temperance card. That's all about balance, patience with yourself. Again, the whole renewal, changes, transitions, letting the water flow peacefully and easily and not forcing change upon yourself, not feeling like you have to change in one day. Like that's not realistic here. The Sun card. A lot of focus on you and really building yourself up and your identity. Like I think a lot of us really get attached to certain labels or people or things, a place, And that kind of holds us back, because when we don't have that attachment anymore, we're like, what do we do? Who am I without whatever that is, like this person, this place, this thing. And yeah, I just feel like your identity is always changing and growing, and you're never one thing. You're like, don't make yourself seem small. Like, you're multitudes, different facets to a personality. So yeah, 7 of Pentacles. To me, this is about patience with yourself growing. I think that sometimes it can feel like almost, how do you say it? Like a burden, a sense of a burden when it comes to your emotions and how you're feeling, and the pace, excuse me, the pace at which you are changing and growing. It might not be so linear. You know, there's ups and downs, there's ebbs and flows, and I just feel like you can't be hard on yourself. And it almost feels like the more you resist your emotions and just feeling it, the more it just like builds up and creates issues for you. Like, I think you just have to feel them. You just have to, like, sorry, moving all of that aside. Oh wait, there's one more card. And yeah, it's definitely going to feel like there's a little bit of an imbalance or less footing or grounding. With the Magician card, it can feel almost impulsive or out of control. And I think that's why whatever lessons you're learning right now, it has to do with having more of an intention and not just like blindly going with the flow or going with whatever, you know, is happening around you. I think you're moving into this next stage in your life where there's going to be so much more intention and direction. And, you know, it isn't easy. Sometimes you have to, you know, experience what it's like to not have intention or like a strong sense of like a purpose or something in order, and doing things that you don't like in order to figure out things that you do like, you know. 9 of Cups. Oof. That's interesting. With the King of Cups reversed. I think, yeah, to me it's all about, oops, a card fell. To me that's about like having the self-control when it comes to you and like filling up your own cups. To some people it can feel like you're being selfish, like, or you're holding back, or you're not doing much. But for you, it's all about having that energy for yourself and putting time and effort towards yourself with the 9 of Cups. And with the Star card, I think it basically just relates to the Magician, where the really like the energy and all eyes are basically on you. Like, what are your hopes and dreams? What do you want? And I think that sometimes we lose sight of what really inspires us. And this is like a call to reflect. You know, again, I've said it multiple times, but you can't people please. You can't be affected by outside sources or the external validation. Like, this is a time for you to really hone in on some changes that you have to make on a deeper level. Like, what's the bigger purpose here? You know, like, what are the next steps for you in terms of what you want to build in your life? And slowly attract it and manifest it, you know? The Fool card is a wonderful card. I just feel like it encompasses the entire reading. and it's like the last note, last card, and it's all about new beginnings, and you're exploring this new version of yourself. And yeah, just be patient with yourself, ease into the transition. um it's, well, then again, it's sometimes it's like rocky terrain, but I think that you'll come out of it so much more optimistic and clear cut, and just have more clarity in your life. And I think that's where you're moving and where you're headed towards. Hey guys, so for those who chose pile number 3, let's get started. So this is your chakra card, and I did pull 2. And it says red, orange, and new green. And these are complementary colors, so I find that very interesting. But it's all about leadership, initiative, vibrant, proactive, new growth, first signs of life, ideas sprouting, healing begins. I think that a lot of you guys are just like on this new path, like new things, new beginnings. Literally, the color is called new green, and this has to do with your heart chakra. So that's opening up. Your emotional sphere is opening up. Maybe you've started something new in your life, a new hobby, a new routine. Could literally be anything. Like you started going to the gym, you found a new collaborator. Am I speaking for myself? Maybe. And red, orange, that has to do with the root chakra. So really finding your footing and being grounded is really important here. Next we have surrender comparisons with other people. Keep your eyes trained on yourself, focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. So I feel like whatever journey you're currently on and like the direction you're headed, you're not going to be able to compare yourself to other people. Like it's great if you try to emulate someone's career or try to emulate aspects of someone's life, like someone that you see on Instagram, like, oh, I want to be more like that, like I want to be more social. But don't compare like their life versus yours and see it, like you're only able to see so much of how one person lives their life, and it isn't perfect no matter like how people make it out to be. So yeah, just don't compare yourself. Like don't compare your stage in life to another person's. Like that just like brings your whole mood down, and like it puts you more in a backwards mindset rather than moving forward. And I think in order for you to move into the direction where there's a lot of new energy, you basically have to be that new person that you want to be and really morph into that. And with the leadership, initiative, entrepreneur, like that whole chakra and that color, it really means that you have to be your own boss. You have to be your own best friend. You have to put yourself first and treat yourself as if you would treat like other people around you. Now this says prosperity. The universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. I feel it's almost like it's like the opposite of rose-colored glasses. Like you're wearing shades and you just can't see all of the things that are happening around you or like opportunities. And I think you just have to be open on how, in terms of like how quickly your life can change, like in a snap. Like you have to be ready, you have to be prepared, you have to carry yourself every day like, you know, it's like it's your last. Like I don't know, I'm getting this feeling like you can't live in the past anymore. You can't shut yourself off to things. Like it's really about being aware of what you're capable of and what's around you. And the next card is the sacred union, partnership or romance. Another one is reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. To me, this is all about I look at it as like one thing and then another thing, like kind of like in two chapters. One part of you is like reconciling the past and past situations. Maybe something hasn't worked out. For some of you, it could be a person coming from your past and making things work. But I think for a lot of people, it's really having to do with like being okay with the past. Like reconciliation to me is about making amends with different timelines and where you were at one point in your life and where you are now. And sometimes it's like, hey, I thought I was supposed to be someone else at this age or at this time, and it's like what happened. And I think it's all about being okay with how things have led up to this point and moving forward and making peace with the past. And I really do feel like you guys are like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship, but I really do feel like this group in particular, you guys are ready to make some changes and meet new people, be in different environments, be more social, collaborate with other people, work together with other people, meeting new people in like whatever circumstance that you're putting yourself in, like whether it's social or like work. I just think that new people are entering your life, and just be ready for that. Let people in to your circle. Obviously, if there's ever any red flags, cut that out. But I think the whole essence of like letting people help you, letting people be of aid and guidance and move forward, I think that's totally plausible. Lastly, we have nurtured, and it says, I nourish and support myself and others. I take pleasure in the development of others. And I just feel like it's so interesting how like you have the new green and then it's also nurtured. I think whatever you're starting out right now, these are just like little seedlings, and I think the direction that you're headed towards is like really watering the soil, like watering everything that you have right now, like your friends, family, your career. Like I just feel like you're in this like beginning stage, and it's like something that you continuously are like going to have to water, for the next coming months, and nourish and nurture yourself, and you won't and others as well, and you won't believe on like in terms of like how much you can grow. I just think this direction that you're headed, the main theme is growth. Like you're really growing right now. You're really having to grow up, adult maybe. Just really take a lot of responsibility for your life. So let's pull some tarot cards. I'm just gonna move this out of the way. But, okay. We got the Four of Cups reversed. I feel like it depicts a man taking a smoke break upright, but to me this is all about no more breaks, no more taking your sweet time. I think a lot of you guys have had your rest, have had some downtime, and I think it's time to move forward and start some new cycles in your life. It might be intimidating, it might be scary, but I think that's the main thing for you guys, is to be in a position where you slowly make changes that build up momentum, and you won't even like recognize your lifestyle or your life in like several months because you're just completely different. The way you walk, the way you carry yourself is just different. And with the King of Cups reversed, that's all about having a little bit of lack of control in terms of your emotional sphere and making emotional decisions. I think that is in contrast to the Hermit, where you will be taking some time to balance your introversion and your extroversion, and like taking some time to really think about your goals and maintain that. Okay, like what I was saying, I think in contrast with the King of Cups and the Hermit is all about balancing your introversion and your extroversion and having those quiet times for yourself to really reflect on the bigger picture, your hopes, your dreams, your goals, long-term goals. And I think that these two cards are very emotional, and I almost feel like it's so scary at times to dream, to want something, to desire something for yourself, because sometimes when you don't get things immediately or it doesn't go according to plan or the way you thought it would, it's a painful process, you know, having to grieve this scene in your head that you've imagined, like in terms of a future. And I think it's all about you know, letting those emotions flow in and out, but don't stop dreaming, don't stop envisioning. That's something that is very integral to you maintaining that vision for yourself and fulfilling it. The Empress card, again, is very emotional. It's stepping into the limelight of having control over your emotions and using your emotions to really fuel you. If you're creative, really tapping into those emotions, whether if you like make art or something, tapping into your femininity and that passive role, but very like not necessarily passive, but more like sublime. Like, it's not like, hey guys, like this is me, this is who I am. It's not like flashy or like in your face. It's like subdued but extremely powerful and potent, you know. And 5 of Pentacles right here, yeah, it's like rainy days. I think the process for you to find stability is challenging, and for you to build that home, for you to build that future that you have for yourself, it's not gonna be easy in terms of like direction. But I think it's like come to the point where like you're done feeling sorry for yourself, you're done pitying yourself, you're done walking on eggshells to achieve something. Like, I think that this is really like a moment where it's like, what do you have control over, and how you react, and everything else that you can't control. It's like water under the bridge. Like, it's like whatever, like let it pass. Don't let it have an emotional hold on you. These are extremely emotional cards. I think that a lot of you guys have to deal with some emotional things that you're working through. It's really all about this growth, this journey that you're on. You know, it has a lot to do with unpacking a lot of emotions and things that are stopping you on the emotional level before you can fully step into it in terms of the real world and like the external and the physical. A lot of it is like all like kind of like mind games. Like, I feel like it's like you're basically stopping yourself from the things that you want and the direction that you need to go into. And the thing that I found that helps is like having that person to like nudge you, you know, your friends, like people that you trust that you can confide in. You know, sometimes you just need a little bit of a kick, a little bit of a refreshment to just like step out of that stagnant energy and that emotional energy and negativity. If you're feeling a little like melancholy, like it's okay to feel these emotions, but don't stay in it. Don't sink under it, you know. Don't stay in it for too long and like start swimming. Like, I just feel like for a lot of you, the grass is greener when you continually make steps, like even if it seems small, even if your emotions feel like all over the place, it really does feel like your emotions tend to be the strong suit for you guys as well in order to move forward. Like, I don't know, a lot of it is like resilience, you know, turning things that hurt you into the thing that gets you to move forward and fly. It could be different for everybody, but I just feel like for all the cards to be like very emotional and watery, you guys are definitely feeling a lot. And okay, the last card is the Chariot. So I think just like ending it off in terms of the last row, it's like the High Priestess is all about your intuition and really listening to it and not getting lost between that whole, like, do I listen to my heart? Do I listen to my mind? Like, honoring both, having a balance for both. But ultimately, making the decision to walk away in certain things and move on and move forward when something no longer fits your life. And I think that this pile in particular, you guys might, I don't know, like have really strong attachments to things and it's hard for you to move on. Like once you've already made up your mind, like, oh, I like this person or I like this job, and then when things just don't seem to like be in sync anymore, it's like it feels like a lot and it feels really heavy. But you guys are literally moving in the forward direction with the Chariot here. And it's like the destiny is like up to you guys. Like it feels very unknown, but it's so particular to what you want. Like the bigger the dream is, the higher you can go. And it shows like that vehicle that is like usually where like ski slopes are, and yeah, you're just going across the other side. You're gonna be able to come out of it, like whatever this stage in your life is, you're moving towards what feels like unknown territory, because with the backgrounds and the Hermit and the Chariot, it's like space to me. So this is like unknown territory, and yeah, I think it's 100% exciting. Like, again, you're just beginning. Like, these are seedlings. Like, your future's gonna look completely different than this, but keep at it, all right? And I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, so for those of you who chose pile number 4, let's get started. So the first card is your aura, your color, your chakra, and it is the color T. It represents tradition, ritual, custom, merchant, trading. To me, this is like a very calm, peaceful, again, traditional, classic, vintage feel. And maybe you might be in this place of choosing peace and choosing serenity and calmness and having more of that routine and stability in your life right now. So we also have surrender procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. So you might be like very attuned with your routine, your goals, your everyday, day-to-day lifestyle. And I think that sometimes we need to break that up. Do something that you've always wanted to do, something that makes you feel a little bit more uncomfortable. Here we have boundaries. Love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. So that's pretty explanatory. Making sure that, I don't know, I am getting the feeling like you guys do have pretty good boundaries, but it could also be the other way around, where your boundaries are so high and strict that you don't let anyone in. I think this has to do more with like fine tuning how much your walls have built up, or whether you need to like lower them a little bit, let people in, really evaluate that for your personal journey. And here we have flexible. And it says, I readily adapt to new ideas, concepts, or situations. Yeah, to me, it feels very like, I don't know, stagnant at certain times in terms of like your journey. Like you stick to your own thing and it's been working for you. But I think that a lot of like things that, like the possibility of change is something that seems daunting at times, or scary, or you don't even know what needs to change. And I really do think it just starts with like new situations. Here we have a wedding. This is like a lot of commitment. Like you guys are showing up as someone who's very loyal and committed, and like very matter of the fact. Like maybe you work 9 to 5 and you just have this routine. Like I just feel like you have, like, you know what you want, you know what you like. But when it comes to doing new things and growth, like growing and expanding your energy and having, just like not the same, like not feeling that monotonous, it does involve like scary things or things that are outside of your comfort zone. Here we have the cosmos. So creativity and vastness. Yeah, I do feel like it does feel kind of like sheltered. And this journey that you're on for the next few months is all about you expanding your circle and exploring what that looks like for you. Like what feels right to you. That's different things that can like come in your life and spice things up. Make that tea, that cinnamon, and make it into like a spiced horchata latte. Like turn that tea and that simple tea that you drink in the morning and make it like the best boba, bubble tea, some fancy drink. Like you can make things in your life more interesting and change. Like ultimately I do feel like it's all about change and growth and doing something different. Four of Swords, it is kind of a procrastination card, like stalling, resting, sleeping, not doing what you want to do, like just letting things just be. And I just feel like you can't really stay in that zone forever where you're just like going with the flow. Like if it happens, it happens. Almost like a part of you has to put in the work, the elbow grease to really let new energy come in. And I do think that you are coming from a period of so much rest because you're scared of getting your heart broken, and you're scared of past circumstances when you have maybe tried to like break out of your comfort zone and it didn't go according to plan. The Four of Wands, it's like staying in your own bubble, like staying at home, staying with the same routine, your friend, the same friends, the same job. And I think that with the Wheel of Fortune reversed, it's like certain changes just need to happen. Like the direction of your life is easily changeable and fluid. Like one decision really can make a whole other like timeline. And I think that's really like what it comes down to is like, I don't know, maybe you do want change, maybe you don't, but if you're ready to start making changes in your life and move into a different direction, having that strength and that inner strength is something that needs to be cultivated, and having the confidence to say that you want to make changes in your life, that's there. I do feel a little bit of like energy wise, like some stubbornness, like not wanting to change, not wanting to like, screw up the feng shui, like just let things be. But I think it's almost like doing a disservice to you. Like, it can almost feel like self-sabotage, like not wanting to make changes in your life. It's going to be different for everyone, but I think that in the back of your mind, you know what probably needs to change, or it's like something where it's like, oh, this is like how it's always like it's not rocket science for you to know what needs to change, but it's all about having the courage to be like, okay, I really do need to put in some effort and change this about me or my life. And the change doesn't have to be external. Like, you don't have to like change relationships, change jobs, change homes. Like, a lot of it can even be like internal. Like, what are some internal things that you need to change about yourself? We also have Eight of Cups, so walking away. Maybe you've had to walk away from a situation and that kind of left you like, that was enough change already. Like, it left you maybe feeling like you got less than what you paid for from the experience. So you're like, am I really going to take chances on other experiences if like that one didn't like serve me well? And the basis of that really does come down to like rejection or like things not working out. And I think that, a lot of us are scared of rejection or something in our head that we care so deeply about it failing that we just stop it entirely from like even trying. And I think that's like the wrong way to go about things. Like, my life has gotten so much better when I just embraced rejection and let it happen, like let it happen. Like, what's the worst that can happen? And yeah, emotionally it stings at first, but I think once you wrap your head around the perspective of like, it does happen, but I'm gonna keep trying anyways, that's where the strength comes in. Ace of Cups is like, you're not emotionally open to new experiences, and you would rather be like stuck in that energy where it's comfortable and feels safe than open yourself up only to get hurt again. And I think that this direction that you're working on, that you're headed towards, is like becoming more adaptable, having different having a different outlook on what boundaries mean to you, changing up this ritual or this tradition and this commitment that you have to yourself. Like, always be committed to yourself and do what works for you, but also I think there's like a sense of strictness, like, oh, I can't do that. Like, I'm, just being stuck in your old ways, like making sure that doesn't happen. Or I just think that the direction that you're headed towards is one that has a lot more unknown, a lot more uncertainty, a lot more vastness. And with that is like, oh, so much like creativity and like new experiences and like the excitement that comes from like having new experiences and like expanding your knowledge and experiences and wisdom of like everything. Like, that feels more worth it. And I think this isn't going to happen overnight. You're not going to change one day and just be like, oh, I'm going to be this completely different person. Like, it's like the slow steps. It's the little things that you do that slowly build up, and you're able to handle rejection, try something new, step out of your comfort zone, and make changes, like have new experiences, be more adaptable. So hopefully that resonates for you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.